there, and welcome back to this week's edition of the Basketball Huddle. I'm Ruth Lang, here with sports editor Mike Brown. We want to start off talking about the heartache that happened to Sebring last night. Mike Brown, he was there to witness it in person. Can you tell us a little bit about that loss that Sebring had to Western Reserve?
You know, Ruth, I've been doing this for 35 years, and you think you've seen everything, and then something like that happens. You know, it was just heartbreaking for Sebring because, you know, they'd gotten down by a point, and the Western Reserve player misses the second free throw. There's 0.2 seconds to go. The Sebring player, Dylan Mick, grabs the ball, throws it the length of the court. The ball goes in. The Sebring students are celebrating. They think they won the game. And then the official waves it off, saying that you have to have 0.3 seconds or more to actually count a catch-and-shoot shot, which is something new. I did not know that myself. I learned that myself last night. So you think you've seen everything, and then something like that comes down the pike. So.
Yeah, I mean, what a tough way to go, too.
Yeah.
I mean, that's following up on a couple other losses that they had over the weekend.
Right.
They had a loss to Lowellville, a loss to McDonald.
Yeah.
So they just seem to kind of be in a slump right now.
Yeah.
But, I mean, just that close of a game, though, that should give them a little bit of hope coming towards the end of the season and into the postseason.
I would hope so. And they've got a game this Friday night at Latonia, and they're hoping they can get a little bit of momentum there, looking down the road to the tournament. So hopefully that'll go well for them. I mean, after such a tough loss.
Right. The Aviators, they came into a streak, a couple games. They had last Friday night. Parrish Martin did hit that 1,000-point mark, and the team carried their streak on to a win Saturday against Canton South, and then Tuesday again they played against Minerva. Tell us a little bit about that matchup.
Right, and again, J.J. Kakura, who's just been tearing it up all season long, had 25 points. Led Alliance to a one-sided win at Minerva, and they got a piece of the NBC title again, Alliance. So another great season for the Aviators. They've been so consistent all year because they really haven't had any bad games. I mean, they've lost 2 games this year, but they've been so good, so consistent in every game. J.J. Kakur has been so good in every game, and the other players too. The supporting cast for Alliance is very good, and I think they're going to be a quality playoff team.
Mm-hmm. Marlington beat West Branch last weekend as well, and then they rallied that win ahead into a win against the Salem Quakers on Tuesday. Who were the key players in that game for Marlington?
Ruth. Thomas Mason for Marlington has just been on fire lately. He had a double-double in Marlington's big win at Salem on Tuesday night, and you know, he's just been in double figures every game for like the last 2 or 3 weeks, it seems like, and it really has found a new level to play at. I mean, is one of the premier players in the NBC now, and I think that bodes well for Marlington again, looking ahead to the postseason.
And that's the kind of senior leadership you want in your team too.
It sure is.
Gives them something to look forward to.
Mm-hmm.
Looking now to girls basketball action, Marlington girls beat Canton South on Saturday in an NBC rematch, but just lost to the Southeast Pirates on Monday. They had 2 players foul out, so seeing some aggressive offense there from the Marlington girls.
Yeah, Marlington's had a good girls basketball season. They have a winning record. Coach Terry Rowe in his second year has really instilled a lot of the things he wants to do with that program, and you can tell that they've really jumped up. They're in the upper half of the league, and I can see that program just getting better and better under him. And, you know, they've got some nice players. They play good team basketball, the Marlington girls. I don't know if there's any one star, but a lot of good players, and I think that's really been key for them.
And that is key. You want to have a team, you want to see your team. And talking about a team, the Alliance Aviators girls team that's been struggling all season. We are still seeing some improvements, but again, they've had loss after loss after loss. Yeah. They lost to the Leopards, and they lost to Streetsboro recently. So what are some things they can do to kind of tighten up that offense and get some finishing?
Well, again, like I said, that is a process. You know, Coach has done a good job, and I give him all the credit in the world because, you know, he inherited a program where he's trying to instill fundamentals at the high school level, and it's hard to do because usually the fundamentals are learned a lot of times at the middle school and youth levels. So they're a little bit behind there, but he's doing a good job with trying to bring them up to that point. And to try and win while you're trying to learn fundamentals at that level is very difficult. So I think people on the surface may look at that and say, hey, they've only won 1 game. It's been a bad season this year. I don't think it has, because I think they have gotten better. I realize the scores aren't what, you know, if people look at the scores and say, oh, that's not a good game. But I think they're starting to do all the little things that in the big picture eventually will add up to wins down the road. It may not be this season. It might be next season. And it's a process with something like that. So hopefully they'll stay the course. I think they've got a good guy in charge, and they just need to stay the course, and hopefully things will turn around for them sooner than later.
Yeah, you want to stick with it.
Right.
Stick with the Aviators there. We might see some good things in the future. The West Branch girls, speaking of good things, they had a personal best again with Melinda Trimmer. She reached 1,000 points and is now in that group. But that was unfortunately earned during a loss against Salem on Saturday at home. But that was followed up on a win. They did have a win on Senior Day. They earned their win against. The win was against Salem. The loss, was to Austin.
Austintown Fitch. Yeah, they lost at Fitch on Monday night. Trimmer joined the 1,000-point club in that loss. Again, Austintown Fitch is a really good basketball team. I think they play. They're a Division I school, one of the biggest school districts in Ohio, and I think West Branch went there and lost by 6 points to them, to a one-loss team, and I think that bodes well for them because West Branch is a D2 team, and they're playing really powerful D1 teams and losing close games, so I think that's going to help them down the road. And then, West Branch has some key games left this week, so, we'll see how that plays out for the Warriors.
The weather again is throwing a slight wrench. We've just had a few postponements this time, not so many cancellations. But what's our schedule looking ahead for the rest of the week?
Yeah, as far as the girls' action, Thursday night, the Alliance girls game, which was postponed on Wednesday night, is now going to be on Thursday night. So they will host the Carrollton Warriors on Thursday night in Harry Fales Gymnasium. Also, the Sebring girls are going to be in action, Ruth, on Thursday night. They're going to go to Latonia to take on the Bears. That's an inter-tri-county league game. So we've got those two games on Thursday night. And then looking ahead to Saturday, we've got some independent girls basketball games on Saturday. The Marlington girls are going to go to Akron, Manchester to play the Panthers on Saturday afternoon. And the Alliance Aviators are going to host the Rootstown Rovers. Now, that's a game that Alliance might have a shot to get a win there. So we'll hope for that for the Aviators.
For sure.
So that's what we're looking at as far as the weekend for the girls' action now.
And with the boys?
Yeah, with the boys, a full slate because what we're running into now is all these rescheduled games.
Right.
So on Saturday, Alliance is going to have double duty this weekend. Alliance has a game Friday night, but then Saturday night, Alliance has a makeup game at Warren Hallen. And West Branch and Salem have a unique situation, what I've never seen. They're going to play back-to-back because their reschedulement's been postponed so many times this season, they're running out of season to play this game. So what they're going to do, Salem and West Branch are going to play Friday night in Beloit, and they're going to turn around and play Saturday night in Salem. So that's going to be interesting there. And then also on Friday night, an NBC action, boys action, Louisville is going to travel to Alliance, and Canton South is going to be at Marlington. And also on Friday night, the Sebring boys will be involved in inter-tri-county league action. They'll go to Latonia for a league game there. So we're looking at a full slate. We're getting toward the end of the season. A lot of excitement for some teams that have some potential to do well in the tournament. So it's a fun time of the year.
Yeah, and keep up with all that action and those records here at The Review, www.the-review.com. And on Twitter, you can follow us at AllRevSports. We'll see you next week.